If you're over the age of 60 and take blood pressure medication every morning, your daily routine may be affecting more than you realize. Most people focus on the pill itself, whether it's the right dose, the right brand, or whether it's lowering their numbers. But very few stop to think about what happens in the minutes before they take that medication. Those first moments after waking up can influence how your body responds to the day ahead. Many older adults wake up, pour a glass of water, swallow their medication, and move on with their morning. It's a routine repeated millions of times every day. It feels normal because it has become a habit. But habits aren't always the same as healthy routines, especially as our bodies change with age. The human body at 65 is not the same as it was at 35. Digestion slows. Muscles naturally lose strength. Blood vessels become less flexible. Even the way medications are absorbed and processed can change over time. These changes don't mean something is wrong, they're simply part of aging. The good news is that small adjustments in daily habits can sometimes make mornings feel more comfortable and support overall health. Today, we're going to explore a simple question that many people have never asked. Should you take your blood pressure medication before eating, or could a balanced breakfast be a better way to begin the day? The answer isn't the same for everyone, because different medications have different instructions. But understanding how food, hydration, and your body's natural rhythms work together can help you have a more informed conversation with your healthcare provider. Before we begin, it's important to understand one thing. This video isn't about replacing medication with food. High blood pressure is a serious medical condition that increases the risk of heart attack, stroke, kidney disease, and other complications. For many people, medication is an essential part of staying healthy. What we're discussing today is how everyday habits may help support your overall morning routine while following your prescribed treatment. Think about what happens while you sleep. For 7, 8, or even 9 hours, your body goes without food. During that time, you're breathing, your heart continues beating, and your organs are working around the clock. By morning, you've been fasting for many hours and your body is ready to transition from a resting state into an active one. Now imagine waking up, standing quickly, taking your medication immediately, and rushing to start your day. For some people, that's perfectly fine. For others, it may lead to feeling lightheaded, tired, or unsteady. These symptoms can have many causes, including dehydration, low blood sugar, certain medications, or simply standing up too quickly after lying down all night. One of the biggest misconceptions about blood pressure medication is that it works independently of everything else. In reality, your overall lifestyle matters. The foods you eat, the amount of water you drink, how well you sleep, and how active you are all play important roles in supporting cardiovascular health. Medication is one piece of the puzzle, not the entire picture. Healthcare professionals often encourage patients to think of their treatment plan as a partnership. Medication helps control blood pressure, while healthy habits support the body in other important ways. Breakfast is one of those habits that deserves more attention. Unfortunately, many older adults skip it altogether. Some say they're not hungry. Others are trying to lose weight. Some simply don't have time. But after an overnight fast, your body may benefit from a balanced meal that provides steady energy, protein, fiber, and essential nutrients. That doesn't mean you need a large breakfast. Many nutrition experts recommend keeping it simple. The goal isn't to eat more, it's to eat wisely, choosing foods that provide long-lasting energy instead of a quick sugar rush. Another factor that's often overlooked is hydration. Even mild dehydration can contribute to fatigue and dizziness in some people. Since the body naturally loses water overnight through breathing and perspiration, beginning the day with a glass of water can be a simple and healthy habit for many adults unless they've been advised to restrict fluids for a medical reason. Over the next few minutes, we'll look at 3 everyday foods that can become part of a balanced morning routine. These aren't expensive superfoods or miracle cures. They're familiar, affordable, and easy to find in almost any grocery store, and they fit into an overall heart-healthy eating pattern that many healthcare professionals recommend for older adults. The first food may already be sitting in your kitchen, yet countless people overlook it because it seems too ordinary to make a difference. That food is plain oatmeal, not the instant packets filled with added sugar and artificial flavorings, not the heavily sweetened versions that resemble dessert, but traditional rolled oats or steel-cut oats prepared simply and paired with wholesome ingredients. What makes oatmeal different from many breakfast foods is the type of carbohydrates it contains. Instead of causing blood sugar to rise rapidly, oats are digested more gradually, providing a steadier source of energy for many people. They also contain soluble fiber, which has been associated with supporting healthy cholesterol levels as part of an overall heart-healthy diet. Imagine eating a sugary pastry for breakfast. At first, you may feel energized, but that feeling often fades quickly, leaving you hungry again before lunchtime. A bowl of oatmeal, on the other hand, tends to be more filling because of its fiber content, which may also reduce the temptation to snack on highly processed foods later in the morning. You don't have to eat plain oats every day. Fresh blueberries add natural sweetness. Sliced strawberries bring vitamin C and fiber. A sprinkle of cinnamon adds flavor without sugar. Ground flaxseed contributes healthy fats. And a small handful of chopped walnuts introduces crunch, along with unsaturated fats that support heart health. Of course, no single food can lower blood pressure overnight. Health doesn't work that way. Lasting improvements usually come from the combination of many small habits repeated consistently over months and years. Susan is 69 years old and has taken medication for high blood pressure for several years. Like many retirees, she wasn't particularly hungry first thing in the morning. Most days, she drank coffee, took her medication, and waited until noon to eat, often feeling tired and occasionally a little unsteady when standing up after sitting for a while. After discussing her routine with her healthcare provider, she began preparing a small bowl of plain oatmeal topped with fresh berries and a few crushed walnuts, continuing her medication exactly as prescribed, but now as part of a more complete morning routine. Within several weeks, her mornings felt more consistent, and she found it easier to stay active until lunchtime. Did oatmeal replace her medication? Absolutely not. Her prescription remained exactly the same. The improvement came from creating a routine that better supported her body's needs, a reminder that medications and healthy habits should work together, not compete with one another. There's another breakfast habit worth mentioning because it's extremely common among older adults: coffee. For millions of people, the day simply doesn't begin without it. And coffee itself isn't necessarily harmful for everyone. Moderate coffee consumption has been linked with certain health benefits in many studies. However, drinking several cups of strong coffee on a completely empty stomach may leave some people feeling jittery or uncomfortable. Everyone responds differently to caffeine, so if you enjoy coffee, consider pairing it with a balanced breakfast rather than relying on it alone to carry you through the morning. Before we move to the next food, one important reminder: blood pressure medications are not all the same. Some are intended to be taken with food, others may be taken with or without food, and certain medications have very specific instructions that should always be followed. That's why reading the information provided with your prescription and asking your pharmacist or healthcare provider whenever you're unsure is so important. General health advice should never replace the instructions given for your individual medication. Now let's move to the second food on our list. While steady energy is important, there's another nutrient that becomes increasingly valuable after the age of 60, and that's protein. Many people think protein is only necessary for athletes, but our protein needs don't disappear as we get older. In fact, maintaining muscle becomes even more important because our bodies naturally begin to lose muscle mass with age. This gradual loss can affect balance, strength, mobility, and even the ability to perform simple daily activities like climbing stairs, carrying groceries, or getting out of a chair. One of the easiest ways to support healthy protein intake at breakfast is with plain Greek yogurt. Compared with regular yogurt, Greek yogurt contains significantly more protein, helping you stay full longer while supporting muscle maintenance. It's also incredibly versatile. You can enjoy it on its own, Mix it with fresh berries, add a handful of oats, or sprinkle a few crushed walnuts on top for extra texture and healthy fats. It's important, though, to choose the right kind of yogurt, since many flavored yogurts contain surprisingly high amounts of added sugar, sometimes as much as a small dessert. Choosing plain Greek yogurt allows you to control the sweetness naturally by adding fresh fruit instead of relying on processed sugars. David is 73 years old and enjoys staying active. Every morning he walked around his neighborhood, but he often noticed he felt hungry halfway through his walk. His breakfast usually consisted of 2 slices of toast and coffee. After speaking with a registered dietitian, he decided to replace that breakfast a few times each week with plain Greek yogurt, blueberries, and a handful of chopped almonds. Within a short period, he stayed satisfied much longer during the morning, wasn't reaching for snacks before lunch, and felt like he had steadier energy during his walks. His blood pressure medication remained exactly the same. The improvement came from changing the quality of his breakfast, not from changing his prescription. It's an important reminder that healthy habits often complement medical treatment. They don't replace it. Now let's talk about the third food, because this one often creates confusion. Many people have heard that bananas are good for people with high blood pressure because they contain potassium. And while potassium is an important mineral that helps regulate muscle and nerve activity, the full picture is a little more complicated. For many healthy adults, pairing a banana with a small handful of unsalted almonds or walnuts creates a balanced snack or light breakfast. The banana provides natural carbohydrates and fiber, while the nuts contribute healthy fats, protein, and additional fiber, together creating a meal that's both satisfying and nutritious. But here's where personalized healthcare becomes essential. Not everyone should intentionally increase potassium intake. Certain blood pressure medications, particularly ACE inhibitors and ARBs, can increase potassium levels in the body, and people living with chronic kidney disease may need to monitor potassium carefully since their kidneys may not remove excess potassium as efficiently. This is exactly why one-size-fits-all health advice can sometimes be misleading. The healthiest breakfast for one person may not be the healthiest breakfast for someone else. Instead of asking, "What's the perfect breakfast for everyone?" a better question is, "What's the best breakfast for my individual health needs?" And that's a conversation worth having with your doctor or a registered dietitian. When you look closely at the 3 foods we've discussed today, none of them are expensive, none require ordering specialty supplements online, and none promise dramatic overnight transformations. They're ordinary foods that have been available for generations, and long-term health rarely depends on one miracle product. Instead, it's built through hundreds of small decisions made consistently over time. A healthier breakfast, a little more walking, better hydration, regular sleep, taking medications exactly as prescribed, and keeping follow-up appointments with your healthcare provider. Now let's focus on something that's often even more important than the food itself. Every day, countless older adults unknowingly follow habits that may leave them feeling tired, dizzy, or unsteady. Not because their medication isn't working, but because their overall morning routine could be improved. The first habit is getting out of bed too quickly. After spending 7 or 8 hours lying down, your body needs a few moments to adjust when you stand, as gravity pulls blood toward your lower body, and your heart and blood vessels must respond quickly to keep enough blood flowing to your brain. As we grow older, this adjustment may become slower, and some blood pressure medications can add to that lightheadedness. If you've ever stood up and felt the room spin for a few seconds, you're not alone. Instead of jumping out of bed, try sitting on the edge of the mattress for half a minute, moving your feet gently, taking a few slow breaths, and then standing up gradually. It's a small change that creates a much smoother start to the day for many people. The second habit is not drinking enough water. During the night, your body continues to lose fluids through breathing and perspiration, so by morning, many people are already mildly dehydrated without realizing it. Even mild dehydration can leave you feeling sluggish, cause dry mouth, reduce concentration, and contribute to headaches or fatigue. And for some individuals, it can make feelings of dizziness more noticeable. Unless you've been instructed by your healthcare provider to limit fluids because of a medical condition, beginning the day with a glass of water is a simple habit that supports your body's normal functions. It won't replace medication, but it helps your body perform its essential processes efficiently. The third habit may be the most dangerous of all: changing your medication without professional advice. It happens more often than many people think. Someone feels dizzy one morning and decides to skip tomorrow's dose. Another person notices their blood pressure looks normal for a few days and assumes they no longer need medication. Someone else cuts their tablet in half, believing a smaller dose must be safer. These decisions can be risky. High blood pressure is often called the silent condition because it usually doesn't cause obvious symptoms until serious damage has already occurred. Even when you feel perfectly well, elevated blood pressure can gradually affect your heart, brain, kidneys, eyes, and blood vessels over many years. That's why it's so important to take your medication exactly as prescribed and speak with your healthcare provider before making any changes. If you're experiencing side effects, don't simply stop taking your medication. Schedule an appointment and discuss what's happening. There may be another medication, a different dosage, or an adjustment that better suits your individual needs. It's also worth remembering that good health is rarely built through dramatic changes. Most of the time, it's the result of consistent daily habits. Imagine two people who both want to improve their health. The first spends hundreds of dollars searching for miracle supplements, hoping one product will solve every problem, while the second focuses on simple, sustainable habits: eating balanced meals, staying physically active, drinking enough water, sleeping well, attending regular medical checkups, and taking medication responsibly. A year later, it's usually the one who committed to consistent habits rather than quick fixes who feels healthier. Healthy aging isn't about perfection. It's about making better choices more often than not. There will be days when breakfast isn't perfect, days when you skip your walk because it's raining, days when life gets busy, and that's completely normal. What matters most is returning to healthy habits the next day instead of giving up altogether. If there's one message to take away from today's video, let it be this: your blood pressure medication is only one part of protecting your health. The choices you make every morning, how you wake up, what you eat, whether you stay hydrated, how active you are, and whether you follow your treatment plan, can all work together to support your overall well-being. None of the foods we discussed today are miracle cures. They won't replace your prescription, and they won't eliminate high blood pressure overnight. But when combined with a balanced diet, regular physical activity, quality sleep, stress management, and routine medical care, they can become part of a healthier lifestyle that supports your heart for years to come. Before we finish, take a moment to think about your own morning routine. Is there one small change you could make starting tomorrow? Perhaps it's drinking a glass of water after waking up, preparing a balanced breakfast instead of skipping it, or simply slowing down instead of rushing through the first few minutes of the day. Small improvements may not seem dramatic today, but over weeks, months, and years, they can make a meaningful difference. Thank you for spending your time with us today. If you found this video informative, consider subscribing for more evidence-based health education designed specifically for adults who want to stay active, informed, and independent as they age. If you have a morning habit that has helped you feel healthier, we'd love to hear about it. Share your experience in the comments below, because your story might encourage someone else to make a positive change in their own life. Until next time, take care of yourself, stay informed, and remember that healthy aging isn't about finding one perfect solution. It's about making thoughtful choices one day at a time.